it's Elise Kopp, your realtor here in Las Vegas. Thank you so much for taking the time to join me here on my channel. If you're new, welcome. If you've been here, welcome back. Either way, really happy to have you here. For today, I wanted to do something a little bit fun and share with you the pros and cons to the largest 55 plus community in the Henderson area. My clients tend to ask me this question, so I figured it would be a good idea to just share the pros and cons to this community in this video so that you could come to your own decision to see if this 55 plus community makes sense for you. And the 55 plus community we're gonna be talking about today is Sun City Anthem. Now, very brief overview, if you're not familiar with Sun City Anthem, it is the largest 55 plus community in the Henderson area. You have just over 7,100 single family detached homes and single level villas, which are their townhomes. You have your 3 clubhouses in Sun City Anthem, just shy of 100 different clubs. So if you really want to be active and involved in a community, this is definitely a spot to consider. Now, before we dive into the pros and cons to living in Sun City Anthem, I do want to take this time to introduce myself. If you don't know me, my name is Elise Kopp, and I am a Las Vegas native and a realtor here in the greater Vegas area. Born and raised, and I absolutely love living here in Las Vegas. And if you find yourself potentially considering making a move to Las Vegas into one of our 55 plus communities, or perhaps a traditional non-55 plus community, I will leave my phone number here on the screen. I'd love to connect with you and learn a little bit more about your story to see if we are and if the greater Vegas area is a good fit for you. Also, if you enjoyed today's video or took something away or found it helpful, I would so appreciate it if you could leave a thumbs up on today's video and subscribe to my channel. It's free, it helps me in making these videos for you, and I really appreciate you doing that. So, now that we got that out of the way, let's talk a little bit about the pros and cons to living in Sun City Anthem. We'll start on a positive note and talk a little bit about the pros. The first pro to living in Sun City Anthem is something I briefly touched on, and that's the fact that Sun City Anthem is the largest 55 plus community in the Henderson area. When it comes to amenities and clubs and activities, Sun City Anthem packs a really big punch. HOA fee is only $145 a month, and that gets you access to all 3 of the clubhouses within the community. So if you want to be in an active environment, this is definitely a community to keep in mind. The second pro I'm going to share with you is the fact that Sun City Anthem is located in the Anthem Master Plan community. So if walking, parks, trails are important to you, being situated in the Anthem Master Plan community gives you easy access to those walking trails and biking trails and all that good stuff. So definitely something to keep in mind when you're in a master planned community. The third pro I'm going to share with you today is the fact that Sun City Anthem is situated at a higher elevation point. Now, depending on where you are situated within Sun City Anthem, if you want to be at a higher elevation point, you are going to be about 8 to 10 degrees cooler than the Las Vegas Strip or the airport. It is going to be a little bit breezier as well. Not gonna lie, in the summer months when it's hot, but those 8 to 10 degrees can make a difference, so that's definitely something to consider in this community. The fourth pro I'm going to share with you is the fact that Sun City Anthem, because of its higher elevation and because it's so hilly, the community offers really nice views of the Las Vegas Strip, the mountains, and the golf course. So if views are important to you, this is definitely a great spot to find a home with a view, so definitely something to consider. The fifth pro I'm going to share with you is the fact that Sun City Anthem was built by Del Webb. If you're not familiar with Del Webb, they've got a name and a reputation that goes back many, many years. They've developed 55 plus communities all over the country. And if you want to be in an active environment, Del Webb does a fantastic job with the 55 plus communities. So definitely something to keep in mind. You're getting that name and reputation that comes with the builder. The sixth pro I'm going to share with you is the fact that in Sun City Anthem, you're situated just minutes away from shops, restaurants, medical, grocery stores. Eastern Avenue and Green Valley Parkway take you to Sun City Anthem. So if you do want to be close to all the good shops and restaurants, all sorts of different cuisines, this is definitely something to keep in mind. I'd be happy to share with you where your closest Trader Joe's and Costco and Albertsons and whatnot are, along with really good restaurants. So if that is something important to you, you'll definitely want to keep that in mind with this community. Okay, so now we're gonna move right along into the cons. And the first con I'm going to share with you to Sun City Anthem is the fact that this is an older established community. Now, Sun City Anthem was built between 1998 to 2008. So if it's very important to you to be in a brand new community with brand new cosmetics and modern finishes and whatnot, you may want to keep that in mind. Now, I will tell you that if you do want a modern updated home, it is very common in this community for homeowners and investors to go in and completely renovate these homes, knock down walls, brand new flooring, cabinets, countertops, all the bells and whistles to give it a new look. So if that's something important to you, you may want to keep in mind this is an older community. The second con I'm going to share with you is the fact that Sun City Anthem is hilly. For some people that may be a pro, but because this community is very hilly, you may want to keep that in mind. If you are an active individual and you enjoy your running or biking or whatnot, this community is very hilly. The third con I'm going to share with you in Sun City Anthem is the fact that this is a large scale Del Webb 55 plus community. Meaning, if you want to get to your clubhouses or perhaps from one spot in the community to the other, you may have to do some driving. This isn't an intimate 55 plus community, so you can't necessarily always walk to the clubhouse. You may need to take the golf cart or take the car over, depending on where you're situated in the community. The fourth con I'm going to share with you is the fact that Sun City Anthem is an open concept community. Besides one village in Sun City Anthem called Pinnacle Village, which features a very small subset of homes within Sun City Anthem, the rest of the community is not gated. They do have patrolling within the community, so if safety and security is important to you, definitely keep that in mind. And as I mentioned, if gated is important, Pinnacle Village does offer a gated environment. The rest of the community does not, though. So just something to keep in mind. The fifth con I'm going to share with you is the fact that, as I mentioned earlier, Sun City Anthem is very close to the shopping and the restaurants and the medical and the grocery stores. And you have a road called Eastern Avenue that takes you right into Anthem Parkway and Sun City Anthem. If traffic is something that's important to you, we don't have too much of it here in the Greater Vegas Valley, but Eastern Avenue can get backed up, especially if it is during rush hour or those busier traffic, especially if it's during rush hour or those busier times of day. And the sixth and final con I'll share with you to living in Sun City Anthem is going to be the fact that in Sun City Anthem, like some of our other 55 plus communities, does have a one-time HOA related expense. Some refer to it as the CIC capital contribution fee. In Sun City SUMMERLIN, they call it the NORA fee. But essentially what the CIC capital contribution fee in Sun City Anthem is, it's essentially a one-time fee that comes out to 1/3 of 1% of the sales price of a house, and that is to be paid at the closing. Now, not everyone knows that this fee is negotiable. When Del Webb originally built out Sun City Anthem, the buyer had to pay that fee, but I have seen instances where we've negotiated for the seller to split that fee with the buyer, or potentially for the seller to pay the entirety of the CIC capital contribution. But that's where I come in. I definitely wanted to bring up that CIC capital contribution fee if you're considering Sun City Anthem. So that covers the pros and cons to living in Sun City Anthem. I definitely didn't cover everything, but I did want to share a few pros and cons to living in this community. If you think Sun City Anthem may be the right community for you, I will leave my phone number here on the screen. I'd love to answer any questions you have about this community and potentially get you in to see the community and the homes in person. Also, as I mentioned earlier, this is not our only 55 plus community. We've got nearly 30 different communities here in the greater Vegas Valley, and you have a mix of new construction, older communities, smaller communities, large communities, and everything in between. So if you find yourself potentially considering a move, I'd love to be your one-stop shop and match you up to some of our communities that may be a good fit for you. Thank you so much for taking the time to watch today's video, and I will see you in the next one. Bye.